What has Richard Nixon ever done for you?
What has Richard Nixon ever done for me? Medicare. No, that was Humphrey's idea. But Nixon. What, the bomb? The nuclear bomb? No, that was Humphrey's idea to stop testing the bomb. But Nixon. Now, what has Richard Nixon ever done for me? Let's see. Working people, I'm a worker. Nixon ever do anything? No. Humphrey and the Democrats gave us Social Security. But Nixon. Nothing in education. Nothing in housing. He hasn't done anything there either.
The preceding has been a paid political announcement by Citizens for Humphrey Muskie.
How funny. There must have been something Nixon's done.
Ever notice what happens to Nixon when the political winds blow? Last year, he said, I oppose a federal open housing law. This year, he said, I support the 1968 Civil Rights Bill with open housing. Again this year, he said, I just supported it to get it out of sight. Which way will he blow next? On November 5th, vote for...
Do you want Castro to have the bomb now? Do you want any country that doesn't have the bomb to be able to get it? Of course you don't. Where does Richard Nixon stand on the UN treaty to stop the spread of nuclear weapons? He says he's in no hurry to pass it. Hubert Humphrey wants to stop the spread of nuclear weapons now, before it mushrooms. Hubert Humphrey supports the UN treaty now, as do the 80 countries who have already signed it. Let's stop the spread of the bomb now. Humphrey. There is no alternative.
Paid for by Citizens for Humphrey Muskie.
Mr. Vice President, how do you expect to gain the respect of the American people in the event you're elected?
Well, I think by my record of public service, when a man says that he thinks that the most important thing is to double the rate of convictions, but he doesn't believe, and then he condemns the Vice President myself for wanting to double the war on poverty, I think that man has lost his sense of values. You're not going to make this a better America just because you build more jails. What this country needs are more decent neighborhoods, more educated people, better homes. If we need more jails, we can build them, but that ought not to be the highest objective of the presidency of the United States. I do not believe that repression alone builds a better society. Now, if Mr. Nixon can close his eyes to that, then he doesn't have enough vision to be president of this country. And that's why I've said what I've said.
Humphrey Muskie. There is no alternative.
I was brought up in the spirit of, really, to put it simply, a brotherhood. We had no real religious or racial prejudice in our home. I've had many people ask me how I got interested in civil rights. I said, well, just because I'm a person. I didn't feel it was necessary to go to college to get interested in civil rights. In fact, I never ever heard a bigoted statement in our family. It's really a fact that we were just brought up to respect people. My dad used to tell me that the lowliest man in town might be the man that you need someday. He used to let me believe that people were basically good and that you ought to look for the goodness in them. So I've had lots of these intellectual friends of mine come to me and say, well, now, where did you get this stimulus for the civil rights? And I said, I got it when I was born. Yes, we just were brought up to believe that people are people.
Humphrey Muskie. Two you can trust.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Frank Sinatra. I'd like to tell you about a man
He's a man who promised he would stop the bombing in Vietnam as an acceptable risk for peace. He's a man who promised that he would bring peace and order to our streets. He's a man who said that every American child has the right to a full education. Now, the man I'm talking about is Hubert Humphrey. But before Mr. Humphrey can carry out his plans for our country, he must be elected president. And for this to happen, he needs your help. He needs money. Right now on your screen is an address where contributions to the Humphrey campaign should be sent. Send in your contributions, large or small, but as soon as possible. Help Hubert Humphrey, help America by helping him. Thank you.
Humphrey Muskie. 2 you can trust.
The preceding recorded broadcast was paid for by Citizens for Humphrey Muskie on behalf of the candidacy of Hubert H. Humphrey for the office of President of the United States.
Every American, black or white, rich or poor, has the right in this land of ours to a safe and a decent neighborhood, and on this there can be no compromise. I put it very bluntly. Rioting, burning, sniping, mugging, traffic in narcotics, and disregard for the law are the advance guard of anarchy, and they must and they will be stopped. The answer lies in reasoned, effective action by state, local, and federal authority. The answer does not lie in an attack on our courts, our laws, or our Attorney General.
Humphrey has the answers. Now let's get him the authority.